Hey guys, how you all doing? JPCowFace here, and I'm back with something a little bit different today. For anyone that's used to my normal content, this isn't it. This is another one of my loves and passions. It is Football Manager. So, what am I going to be doing with Football Manager? Well, I'm going to be picking a team from the lower leagues, not the lower leagues. I'm talking like National North South League, so Tier 6. And I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to try and bring them through up to national leagues into actual league football. And then we'll see where we're going to. Hopefully it's up to the Premier League. If it can be any higher than that, winning Champions League, then that is going to be great. And, we're just going to have to see what we're going for. Now, I tell you, I do know who I'm going to be playing with, and that is Farnborough Football Club. And that is because I grew up in Farnborough, and they are down in the National South League. And, they're not very good. They're pretty rubbish. Poor facilities. Poor finances, probably poor players as well. I couldn't tell you, but I know where they are. When I was little and I lived in Farnborough, they were playing in the Vauxhall Conference League back then, which is what would now be the National League. So just underneath the proper leagues. But now they went into administration. I don't know what year it was they went into administration. They used to be called Farnborough Town Football Club, and now they're just called Farnborough Football Club. And I think they missed a real trick there. They should have had me on board for a bit of a PR goodness, because if anyone knows anything about Farnborough, it is a home of British aviation. They hold one of the world's biggest air shows there every 4 years maybe. And it's it's very aeroplane orientated, and why wouldn't they have renamed it Farnborough Jets or something like that? Taking a bit of an American modern twist on it. Farnborough Jets. I think they missed a trick there. They should have had me on board for a bit of PR goodness, but there we go. Right. Okay, so that's who we're going to be playing as, and we know where we're going to be wanting to go, and that is up. And so we need to get into the game and have a look at the club, finances, team, have a little look about, walk around, see what needs to be done, and figure out what we need to focus on mainly first. So let's go and have a look at the club. All right, so here we are in the Vanarama South League. Here is Farnborough, my hometown from growing up. I'm just going to be playing with the official updated database. No player mod packs going on or anything. So let's go in, and we're going to go. We're going to stick with the original playing style. So original way to play Football Manager. Updated squads will be in use at the start of each new career, even if those transfers hadn't happened yet by the corresponding real life date. So that is what we're going with. So let's move on and get the rest of the game set up. Right, now we're going to be setting up the bit more of the player database in depth, the size of the database, and I'm pretty much going to stick with what the game is giving me. So it's still 46,800 players in a small database. We could increase that to 52,000 if we went large, but I'm not sure if we really necessarily need that. So I think I might stick with the recommended database that the game has given us for our level. Right. So, as for the other settings, I will keep everything as is. However, I do like, right or wrong, agree with me or don't agree with me, I like to disable player attribute masking. And my reasons for that is, if I was doing this for reals, real life job, you know, it'll be a full-time job. I'd be thinking about it 24/7. I'd have so many resources at my fingertips. I would know a lot more about a player if I wanted to than what the game can just give me in, you know, in the space of you looking at a player. There's all kinds of information out there where I feel you could learn more about a player than what the game gives you. So I at least think having an idea of a player's skill level, it doesn't paint the whole picture. You do need to get him in on trial or scout the player to really know what their strengths and their weaknesses are, and whether they're really going to be an asset to your team or not. So yeah, I'm going to be playing with disable player attribute masking. So yeah, I think we're good to go. All right, so this is me. I've been doing a bit of work to try and get my person as, I don't know, they're just me. It's quite difficult. I mean, geez. I think I've got a lot less than him. But it is what it is. Yeah, so that's me, JPCowFace, and that is roughly how old I am. That's not actually my birth date. I'm actually using my dad's, who passed away a couple of years ago. So that can be a little tribute to him. Right. So as for management style wise, I'll stick with the suggested level for the club, but I can choose what sort of manager I want to be. And at that level, you're not playing with the best players in the world. And I think fitness is a massive thing. So I am going to be not a motivator, a taskmaster. So I can bring a certain level of fitness myself to the squad. And yeah, even though we don't have the best players at hand in the world, coaching's a massive thing. So I'm going to bring the fitness, and then I can bring in and try and make sure we got the best coaches that I can get at this level for attacking play and defensive play and goalkeeper. We probably only allowed one coach or something like that. So, but yeah, I think if I cover the fitness level, then I'm a bit have a bit more movability to bring in some specialist coaches. So let's go with that. All right, so there we have it. It has been confirmed. Farnborough hire CowFace. Right, Farnborough have today confirmed the appointment of JPCowFace as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the inexperienced 40-year-old, and he is sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Saunders Transport Community Stadium. Wow, that's a terrible name for a stadium. He replaces previous manager Spencer Day. Now, I'm just doing a little bit of research on him. I do know Spencer Day has been there for a good long while, so I feel a little bit bad about booting him out the door. But, you know, you have to move on and keep progressing at some point. As for that stadium name, it's terrible. When I was living there, growing up, it used to be called Cherrywood Road Stadium. Much better. Yeah. But it is what it is. We will work with what we got. And we got a little message from our chairman here, Simon Gardiner. I would like to extend the warmest congratulations on behalf of everyone at the club and welcome you to Farnborough. We'll discuss the club's vision and objectives shortly, but first and foremost, please take some time to read the club's welcome pack. This is a momentous day and truly a sign of great things to come. I'm sure every new manager gets a welcome pack when they start a new club. All right, so reputation is only a 1-star reputation. Media prediction is actually higher than I was expecting. I mean, they've been down in this league for a good long while. They had to come back up to that level after going into administration, so they have made their way up, but they've been sitting in that league for a good long while. No director of football. Okay, so 2007, that must have been when they went into administration and got reformed as Farnborough Football Club. Fierce rivals, Aldershot, town next door, and they play, I'm assuming they are either in the Vanarama National League, or if they've been punching above their weight, really, they might have made it to League 2, but I think they're probably in the National League. Right, in the upcoming season, Farnborough will be looking to build on their mid-table finish in the Vanarama South last season. We enter the FA Cup at the second qualifying round, and the FA Trophy at the second round as well. Saunders Transport Community Stadium has a capacity of 6,500, and it was built in 1976. Just a little bit older than me. Right, we've got a wage. Finances are okay. We have 0 transfer budget and a wage budget of £7,010. So not brilliant. A little bit look of the club's history. So they won the English Isthmian League Premier Division, and that would have been to get back to the division they're currently in, I believe. Yeah. And then they had the 3 English Southern League Premier Divisions. 1 English Isthmian League First Division, English Southern League Division 1 Southwest, and English Isthmian League Second Division. Although Borough, that's their nickname, Borough, they could have been the Jets. Although Borough are enduring a 13-year barren spell, having not won a competition since 2010, so that's how long they've been sitting in this league, I think. The club still have history of which they can be justly proud. Farnborough won the English 6th tier for the only time in 2001 and were runners-up 2 times. Won the English 7th tier in 1985, 1991, 1994 and 2010, and finished runners-up in the Conference League Cup in 1999. Won the English 8th tier in 97 and 2008. And finished runners-up once as well. So that is a little bit of their history. A quick look at the team. We will have, obviously, more in-depth look. But, right. So, loan obligations. We have Aaron Cool. Jaden Davis from Crawley. Ben Mason from AFC Wimbledon, Miller Matthews Lewis from Luton, Hisham Kisami from Sutton as well. Squad personality, fairly determined. One of our hot prospects is Kanye Jobson, who's one of our centre-backs by the looks of it. Key player is our goalkeeper, Jack Turner. Yeah, okay. And I don't know if I will be playing them in a 4-4-2. I generally, even for the lower down leagues, I like to be a bit more expansive and attacking. Not quite to the point where it's I'm so attacking that the mentality is we're just trying to score more than you. I still like to try and keep it tight at the back, but have a good flow-in attack to get the ball forwards quickly. Not necessarily long ball style, but yeah, get on the attack quickly, speed and But we'll just see what we got to work with, and we'll figure it out as we go. I've kind of got to be adaptive with the squad that I've got. So, right, objectives for the coming season: work within wage budget. Obviously, no more there. 5-year plan. End of the current season. Record a Vanarama South top half finish. Be competitive in the FA Cup, which probably means just reaching the FA Cup proper, and be competitive in the FA Cup. I'm not sure what stage that would be, whether it's as far as something like the quarterfinal. It probably would be at this level. And then for the next season, work towards gaining promotion to the Vanarama National, and same for the season after that. They want us to win promotion to the Vanarama National League by the end of the 26-27 season. I hope to be able to achieve that before then, and then it's just remain in the Vanarama National. Obviously, if we make it out before then, they're going to change the whole move the goalposts and want us to achieve even more, even sooner. So that's none of that is really here nor there, unless we're not hitting those targets, and then they sack us. So there is that. Right, our support liaison officer and is providing us with some details. Right, strive to make progress on and off the pitch. Supporter expectations: reach the Vanarama South playoffs. And be competitive against Aldershot. That's a local rivalry. And another local-ish rivalry is against Woking. We may or may not get to play them. In the FA Trophy, there's more of a chance to play someone like Aldershot or Woking, I guess. But they're not. I'm not sure about Woking, actually. I don't know where they lie. They might be lower down the leagues. So FA Trophy again, maybe. But we will see. Right, we'll get into the game properly and have a look about what we got to play with. But first, I'm not going to worry about doing an inter-squad friendly match. Not worth it. I can't imagine there's anything to see there. If there's any prospects in the younger squads, then they're going to let me know and I can have a look and perhaps integrate them into the senior squad anyway. I clicked on the wrong one there. I do want to meet the media. I won't put all the media sessions in the videos. I do like to attend them, but I don't think it's necessary to put them in the videos. And I don't want weekly meetings either. They're just a pain in the arse, really. I know what's going on with my club. I know what my vision is. So, yeah. I think I'm just going to move that to every fortnight, and I'm okay with that. All right, let's go through some of our mail at the start. So, yeah, Farnborough hire JPCowFace as manager. We know all this. And having a look at a bit of our supporter profile, we have 13% hardcore supporter profile, 35% core, 22% family, 12% fair weather, 0 corporate. That shows just the level we're at, really. So I think as we go down the line, if we start seeing a bit of a corporate presence there, we know we're moving up and heading in the right direction. So that can be something to keep an eye on. And 18% casual. Got 2.4k followers on social media. And season ticket holders, 50 is terrible. That's a really, really low amount. So that's another metric we want to keep an eye on. Once we start getting those season ticket holder numbers going up, then we know, again, we're heading in the right direction, as well as obviously getting promotion and whatnot. All right. Yep, the club vision and expectations, we know that. Players in last year of their contract, that's pretty much going to be everyone at this level. There's hardly going to be anyone, if anyone, that's got more than a year's contract. So we will delay the decision on all of those, because we might be, I mean, if we manage the long shot and manage promotion in the first season, then a lot of those players might not be able to cut it in the National League, or at least there'd be a good handful that need to be replaced and upgraded. Okay, we will go through all of that off camera, but I will obviously bring you in and let you know what sort of tactics we are going for after I've looked at the teams in a bit more detail. Talking of which, let's have a look. It looks like a very, very small squad. 20 people in the squad. It's a little bit on the light side for a whole season. And this is not a small league either. I think there's 24. 24 teams. So that's 46 games, league games. And then you've got to factor in your FA Cup games and your FA Trophy games. So we're definitely going to need to bring in a few more players. We'll see where we're light, and then we'll go from there. Players, right, top ability players, is our top player is a lone player, Hisham Kasimu, and our goalkeeper. Potential wise though, we've got a couple of our own players in there, Salim Saeed, and Kanye Jobson, who they did say was a hot prospect for us. He's only 3-star currently, so he's got some work to do to reach that potential. As well as Ben Mason, who is a loanee, Oliver Pendlebury, centre mid. I mean, he's currently 4-star with a potential of 5 as well, so he could be a very nice player. We will go through some of these players and have a look. So let's start with this top player. Let's go with top player ability, right? Hisham Kasimi, striker and poacher. For those of you that would know, you would have noticed already that I am playing with a skin pack. The skin pack is WTCS, I believe it is. I will try and put it in the description of what skin I'm using. It's not something I've usually done in the past, but I thought it might be worth doing it for this playthrough. So I've just had to change one of these sections, so I like to see the pictograph. Do we call it a pictograph? I don't know. But I do like to see it. I feel like I'm. Some people are going to prefer looking at the individual stats, which I will look at. But I do like to. It's an easy metric to look at. And if you know what you're looking at, the type of player you're looking at, a winger, an attacker, defender. If you look at the graph, and it's looking basically like the kind of shape you want it. So for a striker, I do know that if you've got a kind of heart-shaped graph going on, you know, they do have the natural striker attributes. So this guy is looking all right. Reasonable pace, good amount of fitness and stamina, so he should be able to see out most games, I would have thought. 12 finishing, 11 composure, 10 technique, yeah, and 8 anticipation, 11 off the ball. he could be our striking answer this year. I don't know. We'll have to get some games under our belt, and we will work it out from there. Right, next is, let's have a look at our goalkeeper. I mean, obviously he's not world class. He's 30 years old. He's inconsistent. I don't like that. Inconsistent for a goalkeeper. It's not what you want at all. I mean, he's reasonably tall, 6'2". He's got some reasonable goalkeeping attributes, but having an inconsistent goalkeeper and you're wanting to try and get promotion, that's not ideal. Is he new? Player history, stats. No, he's been with Farnborough for a few years. So he could be difficult to, if we were to find a replacement, it could be difficult to sort of nudge down the playing order without rocking the boat. But we will have to see. We'll get some games under our belt in the friendlies and see how he performs. Right, Jaden Davis, right winger. And yeah, he is on loan from Crawley. He looks like he's got some reasonable winger attributes. 9 crossing, could be better. 11 dribbling, so he's probably better at dribbling into the box than perhaps crossing. With 11 passing as well. That could be his strengths. Get him to work his way into the box and maybe lay the ball off to Kasimu, was it? That could be good. Again, it looks like he is inconsistent. Yeah, okay. And he's reasonably quick for a winger as well. What about Flair? Is 13. And okay. I mean, he could be better again. They could all probably be better when we look at him. Oliver Pendlebury. Oh, he looks all right at this level for a central mid. It's got quite a few weaknesses though. Positional sense, another inconsistent. One-footed. Not good at marking, but if I went off his attribute graph, I'm gonna call it an attribute graph. Why not? If I go off his attribute graph, I'd definitely say he's more of a midfielder that's going to be pushing forwards, be part of our attack for sure. He's got much better attack than he has got defending, technical and vision as well. I think this guy could be spearheading our attacking moves from midfield. So he does not look bad at all. Right, we've got Salim Said. He looks better as a right winger. Okay. Let's just have a look at this other guy again. Yeah. We got this guy in on loan. And we have this guy. Why? He looks quicker. More technical. Well, just on looking at this guy, he would be the first guy going into our right wing anyway, over this lone guy. I don't even understand what benefit he would have brought, except for being a backup. So maybe that's what he is. Jordan Norville Williams is our left back. And he looks reasonably okay for this level. Reasonable marking, passing, good bit of speed, crossing as well. So he looks like he could be reasonable at bombing it up that left-hand side and overloading him a little bit. If we got a decent left winger anyway, I'm not sure yet. Looks like it might be this guy here, Connor Cullen, but we'll get to him. Jack Ball, right back. Miller, Matthews, Loney, striker. Nothing to write home about. Did I miss? I went over this guy, didn't I? Aaron Cool. Defensive midfielder or central mid. All right. Looks like he'd do a job. Some marking, tackling. All right, so definitely more of the defensive midfielder type. I would have preferred, for me, I like my central midfielders to be a bit sort of bigger in stature. I'd like them to have an aerial presence as well. If they're going to be a defensive midfielder and we're getting balls in over the top, I'd like them to be able to win those aerial duels, which will help take a bit of pressure off our centre backs. But we'll see how he plays. 5'8" is not the height I would have my defensive midfielder if I could choose. It'd definitely be more of around 6 foot and up if I could choose. Right, where did we get up to? Jack Paul, right back, a terrible looking striker, Loney. Kanye Jobson, the prodigy. He looks all right. He looks like he could be good. He has us again another guy with bad consistency. I mean, that is something we're going to expect at this level. So I don't know what I'm expecting really. A miracle team that's ready for the football leagues straight away. It's not going to happen. Right, Connor Cullen is another questionable looking striker. Doesn't bring much to the game except for a little bit of speed and a little bit of finishing. Probably won't be cutting it for me, but we'll see. Who knows? Did he have any inconsistent? Doesn't feel comfortable playing in big matches. Another trait I absolutely hate. I can't stand inconsistency and, players that are scared of the big matches. I mean, if you're gonna succeed in football, you need players that are going to be up for those big matches. If they're up for the big matches, then they should be able to be. You want the consistency as well. You want them to be able to do the job week in, week out, and then when you've got those big crunch matches as well, you want to know that they're up for it. Right, Reggie Young, speed, bit of a speed demon. 13 acceleration and 14 pace. So he's got speed on that left hand side. Not much else, unfortunately, Reggie. Sorry. You're not great. Harvey Bradbury, another striker and target forwards. Okay, all right. So we got a big guy, 6'3", 10 finishing, 10 heading, 14 jump reach, 13 strength. Bravery and aggression. This guy looks good. Another inconsistent performer, unfortunately. Okay, a lot of cons. But he could pair up well with Hisham Kasimu, who's a poacher. So target man, poacher pair up, possibly. It might work. Right, where did we get to next? Sid Nelson. Sounds like he's out of Toy Story. Kind of looks like he's out of Toy Story as well. All right, Sid. You look okay. lacking on speed, but you got a good aerial presence, physical presence. Yeah, you're going to be slow. He's going to need cover, someone who can bring the pace at centre back, because he hasn't got it. It's fine. I don't mind having someone that's lacking in speed and they've got the aerial presence, but if the opposition break our lines, then need someone that can run back and help cover as well. So how quick was that, Jobson? He's reasonably quick. So here's the guy with the cover. So they might work. They might work together. Right, Adam Mecki. Another right winger. That's 3. Right. So we had 2 in, and then we got a lone guy in as well for that position. I don't understand who done that. Spencer Day. Right, Ben Mason. We have a defensive right back. I mean, he looks okay for a 19-year-old right back. Could be good in that position. Reasonable speed. Guy Hollis, another. He's just cover. He's just going to be cover. Could be cover for centre back or right back. Ollie Robinson, cover again. Just cover at centre back. Alfie Saunders, another right back. Okay. Could be our guy instead of, who was it? Ben Mason. Ben Mason's definitely got better speed. But overall, I'd say Alfie Saunders maybe has the edge. Not quite as quick, but. And then CJ Fern. What a name. CJ Fern. Good name, bad player. Speed is what he's got. And what are you? You're a centre back. Centre back with loads of speed and not much else. All right, so we have, what was that? Was that 3 centre back cover? We've got far too many defensive players. Did we only have 1 central mid? All right, well, that's our weakness. We can go into our squad planner and we can have a look at our well, yeah, here we go. So this guy, Aaron Cool. Yeah, I mean he could partner up in a 2 central mid, and he could be okay. We're gonna have to work all that out. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a little play around and look at some tactics, and then I'll come back and show you what I've managed to come up with. All right, guys, I just wanted to go through a few more things with you before I show you my formations. And right, no easy way to do this, but let's just go in and tell you what I've found. So starting down in the development center, we do have a couple of younger players that have potential. Adam Pacey, maybe, and Jonas Makuna, who's not as good, but there are a couple more players we could throw into the mix. Jonas Makuna is a right winger, so that's another right winger in the squad. Adam Pacey is a central mid player, so he is someone that we could have as a cover for the 2 first team players that we already have in the squad. So if I quickly show you our staff, we have space for another coach, which is good. More coaches we can have, and the better quality they are, the better our coaching is going to be, the better our players are going to be. It's as simple as that. So I haven't gone into depth and looked at our coaches yet, but we have space for one more, so we'll definitely be bringing one in. Whether I sack off the other ones and replace them, I will find out and let you know in a future episode. We have one scout, which I'll probably leave it out of that at this level, and one head of physio. We have, doesn't show here. I can't think how to. There we go. Right, we have no under 21s staff. We have an under 18s manager, but we have no under 18s players. What are we paying this guy for? We have no players. We might be registered to have an under 18 squad, but we don't have any players. So should we be paying this guy? I don't think so. So I might sack this guy off. If we've got no squad to be playing, he's got no squad to manage. He's just a waste of money. That's one sign that this club is in worse state than I thought it was. Next, finances. Okay, I thought it was okay. It says it's okay. They have $7,000 in the bank. That's enough to pay 1 week's wages. So here's what I think is going to happen. We're going to start the league this season, and our bank balance is going to go. Yeah, I can already see this playing out. It's just going to go into the ground and bury itself. So I don't know what's going to happen there, except for that there's no way we're going to be making enough money at this level, I'm sure. No money in the bank. I'm assuming we'll get next to nothing in sponsorships. So yeah, that's pretty bad. No money at all. And then our captain is Ollie Robinson, who I said is no more than a backup centre back. Why? I understand that he might have good leadership skills, but he's not going to be. He's not a first team player. Not really. I mean, he's okay, but he's. Why is a guy like that our captain? I don't know. All right. Anyway, let's quickly have a look at the tactics that I set up, and that will be us for this first episode. And I will play our friendlies off camera, and in the next episode we'll start the season proper. But a quick look at tactics. Okay, so this is my number one tactic. It is a vertical tiki-taka. So like I said, I like to try and keep it relatively balanced, and I like to, when we got the ball and we got in attack, I like to be able to move the ball up the pitch quite fluidly. So it is a 4-3-3, or more like a 4-1-2-2-1. With a ball-winning defensive midfielder, basically, an attacking Mazzala, who will hopefully come out and fill a bit of space here when our inside forward on our left comes in on his stronger right and essentially becomes a second striker. I've got our right winger as an inverted winger, but I think I actually prefer them to be a winger, keep out wide, and put the crosses in. Either to our guy in the middle or our second striker, who's going to be potentially coming in off the left wing. So yeah, that's our number one tactic anyway. And then our number two tactic is a fluid counter-attack. This is for when we are potentially playing teams that are harder to play against. the top boys in the league, really, and maybe any teams bigger than us that we meet in the cup runs, if we have any cup runs. Be able to soak up a bit more pressure and then counter and see if we can get any results that way. And then our and that was so that was in basically similar a similar formation, but I pivot the midfield to having 2 defensive midfielders and 1 central midfielder. So they still work as a free, but it's on a more defensive side and then attacking. But we still got the wingers that we can get the ball out to, get some width and get some attacking moves on the go. Right, and then our third tactic is just basically an alternative, and that's wing play. We do have wingers, so we might as well play to our strengths. I mean, we've got about 100 right wingers, so I might as well bring this guy and just put him over here as well. But yeah, this is actually a bit the most attacking formation out there, and maybe could be used in games that should basically be a bit of a cakewalk. And we can go out and maybe have a bit of fun and really get some goals on the score sheet. Then just before we go to the squad planner and think about what it is I need to do. Yeah, we desperately need a left back. We have 1 left back. So yeah, we need to go shopping with our. Yeah, so we need to go shopping with our 7,000 in the bank and our almost full wage budget as well. And also, I'd like to get basically a second defensive midfielder in, and if I'm getting one in, then I'm going to be looking for a taller guy as well. And also potentially a better second option striker as well. I haven't, obviously we'll find out how good this guy is. But as for competition, I'm not sure whether anyone's really going to push him for that starting place, and I'd like 2 people vying for that starting place. He seems like he's head and shoulders above the other options there. So what I'd really like is someone a bit closer to his ability, who could, if he's not on form and he's not performing, can be almost a direct replacement, not necessarily in style or anything like that, but levels and quality levels. Yeah. So yeah, need someone, 2 players vying for that one spot. But yeah, that is the overview of who we're with, Farnborough Football Club, what the squad's like, the way I'm looking to get the team set up and play. Obviously, I will be doing some shopping, some scouting around, seeing if I can find some decent players for those 3 positions that desperately need filling, left back more than any of the others. And I will get some friendlies under our belt as well. But I will see you in episode 2, where we get the league underway proper. So until then, I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next time. See ya.